My name is Kevin Mensville. Today I'm going to be discussing coral bleaching and its consequences on coral. So what makes up a coral reef? A coral reef is comprised of hundreds of thousands of individual animals called coral polyps, and they form large structures from the skeletons of marine invertebrates. There are two types of coral, the first being soft coral, which does not form reefs, but they're very important to marine life. They are a natural habitat for fish that live in the shallow coastlines where they form, and they use photosynthesis to get much of their energy. Hard corals form when polyps absorb calcium carbonate from seawater to create durable exoskeletons to protect the soft body of the polyps. And these are found in deeper, colder areas of the sea. And unlike soft corals, they take in plankton and organic matter for much of their energy. Coral reefs occupy about 1% of the ocean floor, but they're home to about 25% of all marine life. That's approximately 4,000 species of fish, 800 species of hard coral, and hundreds of other marine species. Coral are also referred to as carbon sinks, which is why they're known as the rainforest of the ocean. They absorb excess carbon dioxide in the water to use along with bicarbonate ions to build their limestone skeletons. They also protect coastlines from storms and erosion by buffering about 97% of wave power. And they even work symbolically with algae to remove waste from water. So now that we're aware of their importance, why do we need to worry about these coral reefs? Well, one reason is coral bleaching. Coral reefs are being threatened by a host of man-made problems, including pollution, rising ocean temperatures that can cause acidification, and this leads to coral bleaching. So while corals can recover from bleaching if conditions improve before they die, it can take years for the ecosystem to heal fully. In addition, with the rate of climate change as it is, it's not always possible. Sometimes conditions don't improve before the affected coral dies off. Ocean acidification. This occurs from the increase of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, reducing the pH and increasing the temperature of water over time. Because we have such a high emission of carbon dioxide in our times, our ocean are experiencing acidification more frequently, leading to many destructive bleaching events. One such event is the 2014 to 2017 bleaching event. And in this event, it just shows us how these warming of waters can have extreme effect on coral reefs. In this case, due to a particularly strong El Nino system, 70% of global coral reef ecosystems were affected, with the Great Barrier Reef being left in particularly bad shape. And in this case, there's hundreds of miles of corals that were bleached. Here's a hard coral covered timeline for the whole of the ocean, and we see that there's been a steady rate of decline since the 2009. And here we have a couple probabilities of stress. So this is a top one here shows about a 90% probability for these conditions. And the bottom shows about a 60% probability for those conditions. And we see the difference. There's a lot more red in the bottom one here. And I'll discuss what alert 1 and alert 2 refer to. So in alert 1, it shows us that there's a high rate of bleaching probability. And in alert 2, there's a high mortality rate for corals. So we see it's a very real and a scary effect that it's having for our future. But that's not to say that there's no hope for our future of coral. Scientists have discovered little pockets of coral habitats that are more resilient to climate change and gives us hope that these more resilient corals will allow us more time to reverse ocean warming by limiting our emissions and reducing our influence on atmospheric conditions. And with this, hopefully they could come back from the brink. We can help in many ways, such as educating others. Don't touch if you dive to see coral. Maybe don't send chemicals into our waterways. Practice safe boating, choose sustainable seafood, and a host of other ways. So to summarize, corals play a big role in the ecosystem of the ocean and mitigate disasters on land. They're sensitive to temperature, pH, and pollutants. We need to act now before these bleaching of corals leads to the deaths of many of our coral reefs. And lastly, we can help with this problem in many ways, such as controlling our greenhouse gas output where possible. Thank you.